Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. The Israeli government votes on a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. The plan lays out the release of dozens of hostages over the next several weeks, including some Americans. And while Israelis are rejoicing at getting some hostages back, many are still worried about trusting Hamas. Tight security surrounding the upcoming inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump. We're going to bring you a look at the extraordinary measures being taken to ensure safety as Trump takes office again. A controversial bill in Britain would allow some terminally ill people to end their own lives. We're going to hear why opponents say it could be dangerous. And faith on the football field as Ohio State meets Notre Dame for the college football national championship. We're going to hear how Christian faith is so important to many players. All those stories and more today, right now on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
We begin this Friday in Israel, where the Security Cabinet is meeting today to decide whether to approve the ceasefire and hostage deal after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed the agreement with Hamas. The deal pauses the fighting and will lead to the release of dozens of hostages over the next several weeks. While many Israelis are happy at the prospect of the captives coming home, they're uneasy about trusting the terror group. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl brings us the story. She reports from Jerusalem.
After months of wrangling and last-minute obstacles, the hostage ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas is signed.
It's going to take tremendous effort, political courage, compromise to realize that possibility, to try to ensure that the gains that have been achieved over the past 15 months at enormous, excruciating cost are actually enduring.
It came at a price. Israel's national security minister announced his party would leave the government if it passed what he called a reckless deal, but will return if Israel resumes its battle against Hamas.
In fact, this deal will end all the achievements we were able to bring to the state of Israel.
In the first phase, 33 of the 98 hostages will be set free gradually over a 6-week period. 2 American-Israeli citizens, Sagi Dekelchen and Keith Siegel, are in that group. Udi Goren's cousin, Tal Haimi, was murdered on October 7th and his body taken to Gaza. He says the agreement has to go ahead now, but has mixed emotions.
What happens when Hamas says, we can't find your cousin? Sorry, we don't know where he is. What do? Do we break down the deal? Do we have the international backup, the guarantees that we were given to make sure that, all right, if this is what Hamas does, then the deal ends?
Celebrations broke out in Gaza, and in Tehran, Iranians cheered it as a great victory for Hamas. Israelis were more skeptical.
I think on the ground here in Israel, the consensus that I'm getting is that we're all a bit confused. The feelings and the emotions are very confusing about this. Obviously, everybody is ecstatic about the fact that we're going to have hostages coming back home.
Israeli content creator Tal Oren told CBN News it's the context in which the deal is happening that has people asking questions.
I can tell that it's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way, and I myself don't even really know 100% how to feel, and I think that's actually the consensus in the country right now.
At Jerusalem's open-air market, feelings were mixed.
I think we lost all over with the decision we made, the agreement we gave Hamas, everything they asked for. We get almost nothing.
I'm very happy that we got our hostages back. It's unfortunate that it had to take this long, but I'm happy that we got them back. It's also unfortunate that, based on what I feel from the deal, I don't think that all of them will be released. I think some of them will still stay in Gaza.
I think it's something that the Israeli people really need now. We need help from some direction. We need to see them back.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Here at home, security preparations are in overdrive ahead of Monday's presidential inauguration. As Tara Mergener reports, after 2 assassination attempts on President-elect Donald Trump during the campaign, along with expected massive crowds, officials are taking extraordinary measures to ensure his safety.
For one, it includes law enforcement pouring in from all over the country to help. And this massive plan is not just to protect the inauguration itself, but everyone who attends it. D.C. is locking down as the nation's capital prepares for President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration.
Our entire police department will be activated for the presidential inauguration. In addition, we'll be reinforced with nearly 4,000 officers from across the United States who were generous enough to raise their hands and commit their time to assist the Metropolitan Police Department.
Recent security challenges during Trump's campaign are heightening concerns.
We've been planning for this event for 12 months, along with our partners. It's an ever-changing threat environment, and so we stay flexible.
Monday's inauguration follows a turbulent election season, including 2 assassination attempts on Trump and the New Year's Eve incidents, a truck attack in New Orleans that killed 14, and a Tesla Cybertruck explosion outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas. All of these shaping security measures for Monday, including 30 miles of fencing, 25,000 officers, and vehicle barriers creating a 2-mile security zone from the Capitol to the White House.
The biggest threat, I think, for all of us remains the lone actor. Just in the past week, while President Carter was lying in state, we had 2 lone actors show up at the Capitol, one trying to bring in knives and a machete, another one who was trying to, what I believe, to disrupt the proceedings by setting their car on fire.
The Secret Service is using drones for aerial surveillance, and the Federal Aviation Administration has announced temporary flight restrictions over the area. National Guard troops and out-of-state officers are reinforcing checkpoints to screen attendees. Security officials have also warned police nationwide about potential copycat attacks.
For the inauguration, the FBI will operate 2 command posts, one at the Washington field office and one at FBI headquarters. These command posts serve as central hubs for employees to analyze intelligence, assess potential threats, coordinate investigations, and surge resources as needed.
Security experts warn Trump's inauguration will be an attractive potential target for violent extremists, even as they maintain there are no specific credible threats. And 250,000 ticketed attendees are expected at the inauguration. Law enforcement is also preparing for protests and rallies over the weekend, including an anti-Trump march and a Trump rally at Capitol Arena. In Washington, I'm Tara Mergener, CBN News.
You can see our special coverage of the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump on Monday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on all of our platforms, including the CBN News Channel, YouTube, the CBN News app, cbnnews.com, and Xfinity Cable in 29 states. You can watch cbnnews.com to find CBN News in your area. I want to turn now to the wildfires in California, where winds have died down, giving crews some relief against the blazes. Thousands of firefighters have been actively involved in battling the flames. CBN's Paul Petit is in Los Angeles, and he shows us how Operation Blessing has given them some much-needed help this week.
Entire neighborhoods weren't just charred by the Los Angeles wildfires, they were taken out.
Sent out teams today to some of the areas where the fires passed through. There's not an immediate threat, but now they're dealing with the aftermath of no longer having their childhood home, nothing to pass down to their kids. A lot of kind of surrealism where people just haven't really wrapped their heads around what's taking place.
For the thousands of residents without a home to return to, rebuilding could take years. Operation Blessing is helping right now.
It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, but we definitely want to help, people that have a little less. Just get them that, maybe a little bit of normalcy, because it's going to be a long trip to get back to normal.
To do that, Operation Blessing is partnering with multiple local churches to get supplies out fast.
Without partnership, without organizations, there's only so much we can do.
Today, the drop-off point is Fearless Church in downtown LA.
I think we're meeting both the physical need. We have people coming and going every day. We're sending out supplies and loads all across the city, meeting those spiritual needs through prayer, being present, being there for people.
A week into the LA wildfires, I'm told that drinking water is plentiful. The needs right now are sleeping bags. These are going to go to firefighters who need a place to sleep because they're coming here from all over the country to battle the blaze.
When these are flaring up, we're talking thousands and thousands of firefighters on site. Often they're not even able to always leave and head back 20 minutes to a hotel, or definitely not to their families. So they may only have an hour or two sometimes to just sleep on site, and we're just trying to get them the most comfortable stuff possible.
We went out and went to a few local stores and bought everything they could so we could provide sleeping bags, cots, and like blow-up mattresses. So this is getting ready to go back out to the local fire station so the people there can use it.
Meeting needs in the midst of a disaster. Denver says it's only made possible through those who give to make it happen.
Those donations that come in go right to the heart of where people need help. So those are the ways that we could provide the sleeping bags and the cots and the blow-up mattresses from those donations that will be used here immediately out here in this community.
But this is a perfect and beautiful moment for the church to be the church and to go out to the hurting, the brokenhearted, and give them those physical needs, but the real need is Jesus, and we all know that.
In Los Angeles, Paul Petit, CBN News.
CBN's Operation Blessing is on the scene, working with other ministries, providing food, bottled water, and much more to those in need during these devastating fires. If you would like to help Operation Blessing's disaster relief efforts in Los Angeles, simply go online to op.org to find out how you can donate. Coming up, we're going to take you to Britain, where the Parliament is considering a controversial bill to allow some terminally ill people to end their lives. We're going to explain what's in this measure and why some are opposed to it. We've got the story for you when we come back. You're watching CBN NewsWatch. Assisted suicide could soon be legal in England and Wales. The British Parliament is considering a bill that would allow some terminally ill patients to end their lives. But opponents warn it will open the door to abuses. CBN's Dale Hurd has the story. He's reporting from London.
The terminally ill end-of-life bill would allow mentally competent adults with 6 months or less to live the right to end their lives with medical help. After the House of Commons voted to advance it to parliamentary committee, a fresh debate ignited here over doctor-assisted suicide, which is currently illegal. Supporters of the bill say it will be subject to strict guidelines. Opponents warn it could be used to pressure the vulnerable, including people with disabilities, into ending their lives. And a right to die could become a duty to die. Backers point to those who suffer unbearable pain or irreversible decline and wish to end their lives with dignity. Parliament member Kim Leadbeater, who introduced the legislation, says accusations it would open the door to abuse are wrong.
The title of the bill is terminally ill adults. It is not disabled people, it is not elderly people, as someone else referenced. The criteria are very, very clear.
Opponents, however, counter that legalized assisted suicide has led to abuse everywhere it's been introduced.
No safeguards on this will ever hold, and it will be almost immediately expanded, as we've seen in Canada and other jurisdictions across the world.
Andrea Williams of Christian Concern also rejects the claim that it is compassionate to help those suffering to end their lives.
It is not kind, it is not caring, it is not compassionate to kill. It is kind and compassionate to care. It is kind and compassionate to provide people with the best pain relief, mental, physical, spiritual help that we can.
Becky Bruno has been battling cancer for 10 years and says she's glad there was no assisted dying law when she suffered from great pain.
At one point, I even said to my husband, just let me die. But that didn't mean let me die, give me an injection so that I die. I was in so much pain that that's how I felt. However, I'm sitting here 2 years later. But if that bill was, say, 2 years ago, and my husband wasn't around, I wouldn't be here today.
Around the world, at least 17 nations allow legal assisted suicide under certain conditions. In the U.S., 10 states and the District of Columbia have some form of assisted suicide, either through legislation or a court ruling. And there have been abuses. In Belgium, Tom Mortier's mother was euthanized in 2012 without the family's knowledge, only because she was said to be incurably depressed.
My mother, who was physically healthy because of her mental problems, received a lethal injection from an oncologist.
Mortier only learned of his mother's death from the hospital the day after she died. Alistair Thompson of the group Care Not Killing, which opposes the bill, warns that British doctors who object to assisted suicide on ethical or religious grounds could lose their jobs.
Potentially they could be struck off. So they could be reported to the General Medical Council and would face disciplinary action.
Thompson told us the new law could even legalize the sarco-suicide pod in Britain. What some call the Tesla of suicide machines was recently used in a suicide in Switzerland. Its inventor claims it allows a person to end their life with just the push of a button.
The legislation is so badly written that it talks about drugs or other substances. So it holds open the door actually for use of the sarcopod, the personalised gas chamber.
While one poll shows 3/4 of the British public supporting the assisted dying bill, its passage is by no means assured. After any amendments in committee, the bill must also navigate the House of Lords. If it does pass, some fear that with Britain's already overburdened public health system, the terminally ill could face new pressure to end their lives. Dale Hurd, CBN News, London.
Back at home, a very different subject. Ohio State and Notre Dame facing off for the college football national championship Monday night. We're going to look at how Christian faith is important for players on both teams. We got the story for you right after this. Welcome back to CBN NewsWatch. Monday night marks the end of the college football season, and what an exciting ride it has been. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish will face the Ohio State Buckeyes for the state championship in Atlanta. With us now to talk about the game and more is CBN sports reporter Will Dawson. So, Will, this playoff has been more than exciting for many reasons, not just the game. Several teams have expressed their faith in Christ. Will that continue, you think, Monday night?
Hey, Ephraim, it almost certainly will. Let's start with Ohio State, the Buckeyes. The last couple of years, this is something that's been building in their locker room. And it culminated this year earlier on when they had a revival service for the entire campus, but it was led by the football team. What you're seeing at Ohio State really is unprecedented, at least in sports history, that the entire team would be together and proclaiming their faith. Now, it doesn't mean that everyone on the team is a believer, everyone has participated. That's a big roster, but it certainly seems that way. And they're led by Will Howard, their quarterback. On the other side, Notre Dame, it's a very similar situation. I don't know if the sheer numbers are there like they are with Ohio State, but they're led by Riley Leonard, their quarterback. And so win or lose, no matter who wins on Monday night, you're going to see somebody proclaiming Jesus. So pay attention, watch the game. It should be an exciting one.
Indeed, go Buckeyes for me. Yesterday, you spoke with former NFL player Benjamin Watson about faith on the field. What did he say about the game?
Yeah, Benjamin Watson is a 14-year NFL veteran. He analyzes college football for a living with ESPN, the SEC network. So he knows a thing about football, and he also knows a thing or two about character and integrity. He won the Bart Starr Award several years ago in character and leadership. He's just excited about what's happening on the outside of the lines. He's excited about what's happening in the locker rooms. And he talked about this moment of what it means. And here's what he had to say.
We read through the Gospels and we read throughout church history of times where those voices have been more persecuted or more elevated. God is the author of the story. And I think that much of what you're seeing is just young men realizing that God is the author of the story, and they are playing their role and playing their part as humbly as they can. And they're using every opportunity to give an answer for the hope that's within them.
Well, Ohio State is heavily favored, but some think Notre Dame can pull off an upset. Who do you think is going to pull this one out come Monday?
Well, you're putting pressure on me right now, Ephraim, because you've already declared your allegiance to the Ohio State Buckeyes, the Ohio State University. Mm-hmm. There are several people at CBN who I've talked to in the last several days who are all for Ohio State. Now, I'm going to go the unconventional route. Even Benjamin Watson said Ohio State wins this game. He had a chance to watch them earlier in the playoffs when they played Tennessee. He was at that game. But for some reason, I don't know what it is. Maybe it was because of the bad loss that Notre Dame suffered earlier in the year against Northern Illinois. Since then, they've been undefeated. They're 14-1. They're not supposed to win, but I'm going to go ahead and pick them anyway. What do you think?
I'm going to say they are not supposed to win, and I don't want to see them win. Thank you so much. For you at home, for more faith and sports content, be sure to check out CBN Sports on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe while you're there and follow them on Instagram at CBN Sports _. Will, thank you so much. We appreciate your time as always.
Thank you, Ephraim. Enjoy that game.
Yes, we'll do. We'll be right back with an encouraging word for your Friday. Stay with us.
Introducing a brand new way to start your morning. Get your daily quick start from CBN News. A quick read on the important news of the day delivered right to your inbox. Stay current on breaking news, politics, and entertainment. Discover how God is moving around the world and here at home. Plus, get exclusive stories and daily scripture encouragement just for you. Stay informed. Go to quickstart.news and subscribe today.
Time now for your Friday Faithful. I want to leave you with this thought as we wrap another week together. It is a great day to dream again. If you have a pulse, you've got a purpose, and if you're not dead, God is not done. Wake up the dream and dreamer inside you and get to work putting feet to your faith. You are not too young. You are not too old. You are alive. Someone is counting on you, but more importantly, God is counting on you to do what He's called you to do. Well, that will do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Remember, you can always find more of our news programs on the CBN News channel. You can find them there at any time as well as online. That address is cbnnews.com. We'd love to know what you think about the stories you've seen here today or any day. You can email us, newswatch@cbn.com. You can also reach out and touch us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter. Hope you'll join us again right back here, same time come Monday. Have yourself a wonderful weekend and a restful one indeed. Thanks for watching.